Hey, Manny Jen, this episode is all for you. You have a big, brilliant, bold personality and energy, and I never want anyone, especially my Manny Jens, to feel like they need to box themselves in, play small, or anything. Your most magnetic self is being your truest self. But sometimes our energy can actually hold us back. And in this episode, I'm going to explain and show you how your big, bold, fast energy can sometimes get in the way and what we can do about it. All right. So, hey, I'm Rachel, your messaging and human design expert. And on this channel, we talk all things human design, messaging, a little AI, all so that you can create your most magnetic message. And I'm doing a little series all about the types and how each type has a unique challenge, let's say, right? And the unique challenge of the Manny Jen is that we move too fast. We are like lightning bolts. We are in and out. We want everything, the big picture now, and oftentimes that can make a little mess behind us, if you will. But we're going to break it down, and I'm going to show you how to work with your energy. So first and foremost, you have a superpower, and that is your speed, right? It is the fact that you can do a lot of things really quickly. But the problem with that is that often we forget to loop people back in. We forget to loop our audience back into what we're doing. What this looks like is that we jump down a rabbit hole, are so excited to learn something, integrate it, and we want to bring it to our audience, right? And then we are suddenly jumping out of left field with a whole new topic that has nothing to do with what we talked about last week. This is where our incongruent messaging and inconsistent messaging comes from. And I'll share a little story because my 12-year-old daughter is a Manny Jen, and she does this all the time. Well, having a conversation, and she'll interject with some random thought or question that made no sense in the context of the conversation we're having. And it'll just make me go, wait, what are you talking about? And she'll be like, and da 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 da, and explain where her mind had gone. And like, oh, that makes more sense now. Like, you got to loop me in on that. You got to tell me what you're thinking. Give me some context before switching subjects like that, right? That's the whiplash we give to our audience when we don't bring them in on what we're doing, right? If we are just suddenly talking about a completely different thing, we have to relate it back to either the transformation that you're giving or your unique selling point. Why does this matter to them, right? You've been having this one conversation. Why are you switching subjects now? What does it have to do with the conversation you had before? Sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay too, but just be upfront about it. Say, I have something I want to share, but it has nothing to do with my work. I'm just really excited about it. Even just saying that can give clues and give context to your audience so that they're like, oh, okay, I get it, right? And they're not playing catch up all the time. The other thing that we tend to do is create offers really quickly without giving them time to actually take hold, right? An offer needs a space. An offer needs a little lead up. People need to be ready to buy and excited to buy and then go into the container. When we are creating containers and changing what we're offering, like we're changing our socks, we're not giving our audience a chance to understand what we do, right? And how it helps them, right? You need to have a little bit of a strategy around your offers so that it gives people time to understand what you're doing and why it's for them and all of the things. So the other one is that oftentimes we're talking about the destination and where we're all going, and our audience hasn't even packed yet. What do I mean by that? We're so focused on the transformation that we forget to talk about the experiences that we're going to leave behind, the things that you don't have to do anymore because you now have this transformation. I personally don't like talking about pain points. I like talking about these are experiences that you're having that you don't want anymore. You're done dealing with these things and you want really amazing desired experiences over here, right? That's my transformation. I'm going to help you get rid of these experiences so you can have these experiences. Oftentimes, many gens only focus on, oh, the amazing, what's going to happen when you're over here and how fantastic it is. Totally neglecting the experiences we're leaving behind, right? We can't do that. We can't do that because someone will look at that and go, well, that's great, but that's great. And I don't know if I'm ready, or I don't know. There's leaves so much hanging in the balance, and it's leaving your audience with the question of, I don't think this is right for me. And that's not what we want, right? We want to show them all the amazing things out there and all the things that they get to say goodbye now to because they're in our container. Okay. The last one is niching what you do instead of how you do it. I love this. So your unique selling point, your niche, right? One and the same. Your unique selling point is how you bring things together. Many gens have so much experience of doing lots of different things. They go down rabbit holes all the time. They have multiple passions. And the way that we see the world now is colored by all of that. And we look at it going, why is no one putting this and this together? Like, you have to be able to understand yourself and your human design in order to write beautiful messaging and magnetic messaging, right? You have to put them together. Same with anyone else that's a manager, like looking at your passions, the things that you absolutely love and adore and can talk endlessly about. How are you bringing them together so that someone can skip steps, do something faster or better or in a unique way, right? It doesn't have to be all your passions. It can just 2, 3, maybe, right? And they could be tools, but they could not. It could be intuition. That could be part of it, right? Or it could be a tool like human design. Don't get hung up on like whether or not it's a tool or an experience or it's just intuition. I can't put a name on it. It's what do you feel passionate about and can talk about for days and days and days? And how does it change things when we bring this other element into it, right? It could be business and energetics, right? You can have business, but if you don't have the energetics behind it, then you're going to have hustle, right? So understanding what are the things that you're bringing together. It's how you're doing it, not what you're doing, right? So now to effortlessly like bring people into your world, be that magnetic, shiny, beautiful, freaking Manny Jen that you are, I want you to connect the dots for your audience. I want you to help them see the big picture, help them see how what you're doing is solving their problems, right? Connecting the dots around, oh, we're going to go down this rabbit hole, but here's why it matters. Here's why it's going to help you, right? Connect the dots for us because we're not going to connect them for. We can't. We're too busy. We're too squirrel-minded ourselves, right? We need you to tell us why. Why are you jumping down this rabbit hole? Or why do you need to put these things together? Why does it matter to the things that I'm experiencing right now? We need to talk about that starting point, that those experiences we don't want anymore, right? Along with the transformation. It's got to be like, and I will even say it's got to be your process in there too, like how you're getting people from this side of the canyon to the other side of the canyon. How are you doing that? We have to be talking about all 3 points because otherwise someone will look at it and be like, well, that's the same transformation as someone else is offering, right? Or that's the way someone else is doing it. Honestly, your unique selling point, the bridge over the canyon, is going to be unique to you. But talking about all 3 points really gives us a reference of, I see how you're helping people. I want that too. I have that problem and I want that experience. I want that transformation on the other side. And then niching to how you do it, not what you do, right? How you're blending things together. Really understanding that that's what you're known for is how you bring things together. What are like peas in a pod that you bring together, right? So this is a little series that I'm doing all on human design types and how I don't want to say mistakes, but I want to say how they're showing up, that it is repelling versus attracting, and getting into the messaging tweaks that we can be making so that our energy is our most authentic, our most magnetic. Next week, I'm going to talk all about generators. If you liked this and want more information on how your human design influences your messaging, I have a custom report down below. I'll leave the link. It's called Authentic Messaging Unfiltered. And we'll see you next week, my friends.